Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Arise with Elixir Games. On the last episode, we started heading out of, we went into the very depths of the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus, where we found Volron, who was at the time preoccupied with the spirit channeling ceremony, where he was the sovereign. The room itself was the maiden, and the Redis Alma was there. However, before he could finish it, we tried to stop him, and then the red women showed up, turned into these weird enemy monster Zool things, and attacked us. We fought, then we had to escape because the red women stole the Redis Alma, thus throwing the ceremony into chaos. So we had to leave. We had to then try and comfort the people of Lenegus to make sure that they were going to be okay, because they didn't know what the heck was going on and their power had gone out. Helene stepped in to take charge. It was great. And then we decided that we were going to go to Rena itself, the homeworld, so that we could hopefully find our answers and also the Redis Alma. However, before we could get there, the red women stepped in again and they stopped us and threw our ship off course. So now we're in this unknown area that we don't know what it is. What happens if I click this? The starship Fall Knights is in no condition to take off. Oh yeah, she made our ship break down as well. It wasn't great. I'm curious what this place is though. It's definitely something Renin. So that's something at least.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
Fair enough. I am really curious about Rena itself as well. Can people live on a planet that's not spherical? How does that work? I'm so curious. Okay, we have another skit here. Keeping calm.
That beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the Renin side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renin homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegus?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
I think he's come a long way since back then. Back then he didn't even know what he wanted to do specifically just for himself. But I think he's definitely finding a lot more answers now. So hold on. Are these just walls? I take it they are. Okay. They all look like they should be doors, but they're not. We can't even look at this. What is this place? Maybe it's another sort of satellite place? A bit like Lenegus, but not? Oh, lower, central, upper. Lower level? Not accessible. Central? I should have tried upper. I didn't try upper. Okay. Can I go to the upper level? Nope, it's not accessible. Okay, okay. They're forcing me to go and say hello to them, I guess. Whoever they are. Okay, that's definitely supposed to be a door. It's red though, so I can't actually go through it. Same with that place. Man, I am so curious. Let's actually go and find out our answers, I guess, then. Is that a throne? Hello? Oh, no, it's some sort of a control panel? This place looks a lot like the Wedge. Huh.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh, goody. More riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helghan Quill. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helghan Quill?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but
Let's assume that what Helghan 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's great spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helghan Quill devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Helghan 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegus has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helghan Quill, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helghan Quill who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
We've got to find the others, in quotation marks. Okay. Helghan Quill, Hevrecht 35. These are some words. Fake Dazel? Was that it? Huh. There are a lot of words being thrown around here that I'm needing to learn. Also, like, is it wanting us to find other Helghan Quill elsewhere? Like, on Rena, Dana, and Lenegus? Or, I don't know that they would be willing to talk. And I was gonna say something else and it's gone. Oh yeah, we have to kill... It's a JRPG, of course we have to kill God. This is so dumb. Okay, I like this game. This is interesting plot. I just... Yeah, we're killing God again. It seems to manage Hevrecht 35's conditions. Lots of vital sign stats are displayed. Okay. So what does the others mean? Are we allowed to go into other rooms or other floors?
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Helene? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helghan Quill, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevrecht 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helghan Quill, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
Maybe? And by Renans, do they mean like all of the Renan people, or do they mean just the people on Rena specifically? I'm not convinced that there are people on Rena, I'm gonna be honest. I have so many questions. Okay. So... are we going to other floors? I'm guessing yes. So... can we go to the upper level? We can. Okay. Alrighty then. I guess we'll go through here. Okay. Upper level viewing deck. Well, this is cool. We can look out at space. That's cool. I mean... yeah. I guess the others aren't here. It's cool that we can see Rena, though. That's nifty. So... okay, I guess we have to go down to the lower level? Is that where the others might be? Dake Faisal. Ah, the others are through here, I guess. It doesn't look like there's anything else here, does it? Oh, I can look at this panel. Hello. These are Dake Phasal construction plans showing a central elevator shaft and multiple circular areas. Right, okay, cool, cool. So there's two different ways we could go. Oh, I see that we should be able to fast travel here. Obviously not right now. Through here. Right, yeah, this is pretty similar to that room that we saw on Lenegus. Cool. It measures astral energy fluctuations in Rena and Dana. Cool. I'm not sure how I feel about... I mean, I guess it makes sense that... just the thing's motivation... Sorry, Hevrecht 35's motivations being, well... I care most about our research. I mean, I guess vengeance is also a part of it, but our research... Like, does your research really matter that much? I mean, I guess to them it really does. Also, these plants are very pretty. What are they? For a second, I wondered if they were the fruit of Helghan. But I don't think they are, because they were Kelzelik's creation, so I don't think so. Anyway, let's go and find the others.
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrecht 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Well, okay then. I guess we'll chat with the Renan researchers. Where did the other guy go? Oh, he must have gone behind here. Okay. We'll talk to him last. Hi there.
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helghan Quill.
You mean the Overseer's species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helghan Quill.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't, but there are Helghan Quill. That's what the name literally means in their language, people of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helghan Quill are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helghan Quill kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use astral arts on Dana now.
Helghan Quill technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helghan Quill are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Helene.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, when you think about it, if there's two different planets, then it's interesting that they would both be inhabited by humans, and that they wouldn't have evolved in different ways, and thus be even more different than Danans and Renans are. I'm mostly curious about, like, I guess they must have done, like, bodily manipulation to change it so that their eyes glowed when they used astral arts. Maybe it was by, like, giving them more astral energy within their bodies. It's really intriguing, actually. Yeah, they must have just kidnapped all of the mages from Dana. Oh dear god. Yeah. Whew. I guess that it makes sense as well then, because humans don't seem like they'd be able to live on a cracked egg planet. But the Helghan Quill, because they're like fantasy creatures, I can kind of see it. Anyway, hello there. The craftsmanship that the Helghan Quill display always astounds me, whether it's the Zeugles, us Renans, or anything else for that matter. I have to imagine it will take our kind many generations before we'll arrive at their level of sophistication and expertise. They do seem very intelligent, but I can't say that I think what they've done is maybe for the best. It appears to maintain constant monitoring to ensure that nothing approaches Dake Faisal. Yeah, like, I don't know, kidnapping a bunch of people and then manipulating their biology so that they can be your servants in order to be slaves to Great Spirit. Doesn't sit right. Anyway, hi there.
Have you guys lived up here in Dake Faisal with Helghan 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Helghan 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helghan Quill have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegus is still run.
But aren't the Helghan Quill themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helghan Quill, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrek 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegus? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright.
After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead.
Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further.
That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions.
Yeah, definitely some interesting information there. I mean, I kind of gathered that it was because that they were Renan that Shion and Dohalim couldn't see the Red Women, but okay, yeah, that makes sense. Cloaking technology. There was something else that I was thinking about, and I don't remember what it was. Kind of important. The Overseer and I have a lot of lively debates on the whole host of topics. Politics, philosophy, science. I always enjoy them. Our perspectives as members of different species are so unique that it makes for intellectually stimulating conversation. I have to imagine the Overseer enjoys them as well. They make for an excellent way to stave off the monotony in Dake Faisal. Yeah, that was another question. Where do they get food? I guess from these plants? But how did they get plants? How long has it been? Alright, let's talk to this guy. Hi.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegus to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helghan Quill that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevric 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helghan Quill, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helghan Quill. Then the Helghan Quill created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Your party disbanded.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
Your party disbanded except for Shion. This is the first time that she's just stuck with us when we're doing this kind of thing. How cute. Oh, I like that. I was gonna say something as well. I don't know what it was though. It can't have been important. We have a skit here, finding one's footing.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, that the Helghan Quill made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevric 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helghan Quill could be behind the fruits of Helghan too.
But if Hevric 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
I'm sure we'll be able to do it. Also, I can't believe I didn't even notice. Helghan Quill, fruits of Helghan. How did I not notice that? I even said that the plants looked like the fruits of Helghan. I am upset myself. You weren't there before. Where did you come from? You're an inn? I mean, do I want to rest in a hibernation chamber? Sure, I guess. What do I want to cook? I mean, most of my party's not here. Does it really matter? I guess we could just have something Easy porridge? Sure.
It feels kind of surreal to make people happy with something I made.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's really cute. That's very sweet. Okay. I didn't talk to this guy again. Hi. So far, things on Data have proceeded according to plan. I feel honored to witness the final stages of an event generations in the making. I'm keen to see how it'll all turn out. Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised by their apathy towards Rena and Dana, because, you know, they know the truth and everything, and they're also probably not going to be impacted so much. Still, it is a bit weird, you know, considering it's the end of the world for us, but it's nothing for them. I really like the cape physics here. I'm just... I'm so entranced. Alright, who can we find first? All of our friends seem to be through here, just chilling out. Oh, there's some other Renans here. Or, lab workers. I guess they're not Renans. Specifically. Where did they show up from? Where were they before? Is it just here that everyone is? Yeah, everyone's just here. Cool, okay. I guess we'll... Hold on. Are you okay? You need healing? You found me collapsed again and helped me back up? Well, I appreciate it. Thanks to you, I can continue to go about my research. We got some happy balls. Hooray. I never use them. I've sold them in the past. But yeah, oh, these people are chatting. Hi. Did the Renans on Oh, Elder. Did the Renans on Lenegis lose control of their Zoogles? I suppose it's plausible, what with all the astral energy flowing throughout the place. In which case, the arts that were keeping them in line must have been disrupted. I doubt it was otherwise the work of the Great Spirit. I agree. It's hard to believe that such a massive consciousness could deliberately conceive and then carry out such a localized phenomenon. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, huh? I had to just double check what they were even talking about there. I was so busy focusing on talking. Okay, over here? Hi! The spirit channeling plan will finally soon conclude as the Overseer reaches the end of its lifespan. After going into hibernation countless times to date, it's been a long time coming to say the least. What are we going to do once the project is over and there's nothing left for us to research? We'll always keep observing as long as there are things out there worth watching. Once our time is up, whenever it is, we shall return to nothing. It's a fitting fate for this situation and its inhabitants after being cast out into the cosmos. I guess? That apathy is so confounding. I have so many questions. Alright. Ooh, who do I want to talk to? Rinwell's here, Kisara's over there. I guess we'll chat with Rinwell first since we found her first. Hi.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dan and mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down, and there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah. I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danan and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
Hell yeah, we will. Oh, she wants to be a go-between. I don't remember the actual word for that. Why don't I remember the actual word for that? Not an emissary, I guess? Still, that's really cool. I hope there comes a day when mages are just like anybody else in Dana. I'm sure that day will come, and I'm sure that you'll be a part of that change because you're just incredible. She's only 14. Alright. These are Dake Phasal construction plans, so yeah, no, we saw that before, okay. Alright, Kisara? Hi! You wanna chat?
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans and the Great Spirit and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helghan Quill and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
I'm always impressed by Kisara's level head. She's got such a good way of reasoning things out. I like looking at both sides of a situation and seeing the nuance in it and seeing how difficult it's going to be, but also seeing that there is a way forward. It's really cool. Now to think about how we can all embrace each other's pain, as you put it. That's a good way of putting it, yeah. Embrace each other's pain. Let's do that. I also just realised that, like, he's got one foot on the step. Did he have his foot like that for that entire conversation? Well, fair enough. Right, we got to speak to Lord Dohalim, who should be through here. Hello, hello? I guess we'll speak to Law first, since he's over here. Hi, Law.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live, and I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
Oh, that's really sweet. Law's great. I do like him a lot. I'll leave the big boy tricky stuff to you, and do what I can on my end to help. Yeah. Everyone has their own things that they can do no matter how big or small they are. And I think that's just as important to know as, like, not everyone has the ability to go out and change the entire world in huge ways like some with the Sovereign's power say, but even just being able to stand up and fight a little bit can be a huge help. Anyway, hi there, you have more to say? I wonder, are Danans still not given surnames of their own? As crude of a tactic as it is, it's nonetheless an effective subjugation tool. But I suppose we aren't all that different. Though grandiose sounding, ours are simply a means to identify an individual's formative background. That's fair, yeah. Yeah, like, it really... It's quite a thingy tactic because it... what's the word? There's a word... By not giving the Danans surnames, they're basically being like, hey, you don't get to have, like, a family, a community of that sort. You are just simply slaves. You are simply tools. You don't have these things to identify yourselves as anything more. It is quite a cruel tactic. But even then, the Renans are also slaves in their own sense. Because families mean a whole lot in terms of slave terms there as well, because it's lineage which gives you power. Because lineage can determine how strong your astral arts are. Hi there. Barring the unforeseen developments that took place on Lenegis, everything has gone quite smoothly. Even if we were to notice such aberrations for ourselves, we would likely ignore them, as it's not our policy as observers to interfere. I see. Fair enough. Hi. It seems that when Lenegis was activated, no consideration was made for the safety of those in the residential quarter. Not that it matters. Once the plan is complete, Lenegis will serve no purpose. It's only logical that there would be more pressing concerns instead. I mean, I guess, but like nowhere will exist. Maybe. Hi there. The Overseer must be so pleased to be able to witness the transformation of Dana before it passes on. I guess so. Hi there. The Overseer will in all likelihood remain with us for the time being, as its vital signs continue to show us stable. Despite their appearance, their biology is surprisingly close to us. Isn't that just utterly fascinating? Definitely. Hi, Dohalim, how you doing?
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
To say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helghan Quill's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
All of these scenes are so sweet.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dana's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world, and it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Shion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is.
Members who left have returned to your party.
Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
Hell yeah! Oh, that's so cool. All of these scenes are so good. The one with Dohalim, I loved that. Seeing him like resolved to make change and to continue making change and to try and be, you know, to bring the two peoples together and help, and having Alphen help him. And then also like the scene with Alphen and Shion as well. Just all of these scenes are very good. They're all so very good. Okay, we have another skit here. Lenegis today.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renaissance stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships that people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
That does make me wonder, what actually did happen to the Sovereigns from the Crown Contest? Like, apparently they're still alive, because they still talk over the comm thing. That's what Shion said anyway. So what happened to them? Are they on Rena? Are there people on Rena? I'm so confused. Anyway, I think we actually need to end off there because we've been going for a little while. So hi, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please feel free to let me know down below what you thought of everything that happened in this episode here today. I know it was mostly talking and getting a lot of information and expositions, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. I certainly did. I feel like I'm starting to understand a lot better the things that have been going on. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this all pans out. But for now, we're gonna stop, so thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you look forward to the next one. And I hope you have a great day, night, or whatever the time is for you. I'll see you next time. Life is good. My Twitter is very busy because Erica Lindbeck saw and retweeted my art. It's really crazy. Oh my god. I'm having a time. I can't believe she saw it. It's really cool. Isn't that just so cool?